So this is Dreamweavers. And you can already tell, just from this one shot alone, that it's gonna be an interesting ride. Gesundheit, Spyro. It's just, out of all of the worlds, this one is definitely the most, like, unhinged and the most fantasy-oriented and, by far, the most creative. And it all starts with this guy right here. Look at him. Look at him just dancing around like a freaking buffoon. And then, oh my god, now he's small. Everyone is small now. Wow, how did that happen? Did you slap me? But yeah, there's a lot going on in this world. This world definitely has, like, the most mechanics and gimmicks to it. This is where, the developers' creativity was just... it's just completely liberated and just completely free. There's a lot going on. And even in the original Spyro, this place was just an absolute joy to explore, and I love what they did with this. Whoa, don't... I am already small. You don't need to shoot that at me. Jesus. And if you haven't figured it out, yeah, there's a dude on that cannon right up there. It's kind of hard to see from this distance, but essentially it's a giant shrink/enlarging ray that is used to, well, shrink and enlarge enemies, which, you know, kind of self-explanatory after I just said that. But yeah. This place is gorgeous. Such a joy to roam around in. And speaking of a joy to roam around in, it is now time to enter what is not only my favorite level in the original Spyro 1, but what might just be my favorite level in the entire original trilogy. Dark Passage. I flame your face! Now, even though I've said before that the original Spyro game is my least favorite in the trilogy, this is my favorite level, and there are a few reasons for that. One of them being this mechanic of light and dark. When the light's on, these enemies are a bit more harmless, but by God, look how hideous and dangerous looking they are when it's dark. It's a really simple mechanic, simple gimmick, but it's done really, really well. And this guy right here, just props to him for doing his job and just doing such a damn good job at it. But watch what happens when I do this, when I actually attack him. He becomes light all around, which makes all the other enemies weaker for a limited amount of time, before he finally snaps out of it, eventually. Eventually, there he is. Ah, such a cool animation, too. Look at all these... I almost feel like I'm in an anime. These look like frickin' cherry blossom petals. That's probably not what they are. I don't even know what the heck they're supposed to be. Because I don't really see any cherry blossoms here. I don't even see any trees. And these guys, they looked honestly kind of cute and harmless in the original game, and now they just look like angry bald chihuahuas that want to eat my face. I would have appreciated it a bit more if they actually were made out to be cute like they were in the original. Because when they're cute and small like that, then you almost feel bad for defeating them. Kind of wish that was retained here, but again, it's a minor complaint. See ya. Okay, see ya.
The enemies here can be quite frightening, but you should watch the fools.
I'd rather flame the fools.
Now you're thinking.
Yeah, the dragons here kind of remind me of the ones in Magic Crafters, because honestly, this entire world kind of reminds me of Magic Crafters in a sense. It's, I mean, magic is kind of the name of the game in this world. Booyah! But whereas, the Magic Crafters actually dealt in magic and, like, moving stuff around, this one deals in illusions and trickery. So, I suppose in that way, it's its own unique thing. Oh, oh, yeah, and the turtles also shoot fireballs at you, so you might want to avoid those. These guys here, they look like a cupid and a... well, not a cupid, but rather a cherub and a demon, like, kind of had a baby. Pretty cool, unique concept. Azizi and Zari?
Thank you for releasing me.
Alright, now go back to being a character in Gremlins. Alright, now another reason why this is my favorite level is because I could keep on going this way, but literally half of the entire level is hidden in this tunnel over here. Just a whole bunch more world to explore. This is probably the biggest level in the first Spyro game. And I love it for that. I also love the design here, especially this purple skybox. It looks beautiful. I mean, yes, it doesn't have Aurora Borealis, which I've mentioned in one of the earlier videos I'm kind of a sucker for in this game. But just this pinkish glow just makes everything look so Twilight. Looks really neat. And also, most of the fodder in this level, actually I think all of the fodders in Dreamweavers are, floating mushrooms. Well, not floating mushrooms, bouncing mushrooms, I meant. Which, you know, kind of, there is a bit of a theory, and I'm sure this is what the original developers were going for, honestly, that, the Dreamweavers world is, for lack of a better phrase, on drugs. Why else would you be seeing all this crazy crap? And all this, you know, unbridled imagination? So yeah, maybe, maybe those shrooms are actually shrooms. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I should not be making that reference yet, because I'm not playing Spyro 3. I remember in the original game, if you, like, placed it just right, then this guy would actually shoot and kill the turtle enemies, but unfortunately the arrows go right through them in this version of the game, which, whatever. I suppose, you know, I don't want to be robbed of the satisfaction of defeating an enemy myself, so I suppose I should thank the game for that? Question mark. What about you? Apara.
Thanks, Spyro. I'd love to help you catch Nasty, but I'd really hate to be trapped in Crystal again.
Don't worry. The only one that's gonna be trapped is him.
And now that you're getting further in the game, dragons typically don't have a whole lot of hints for you anymore, since you pretty much know everything that Spyro was capable of and incapable of. So the majority of the dragons being freed in this world are essentially dragons who just say thank you for releasing me and the like, and also dragons who are saying, hey, you're getting closer to being strong enough to defeat Nasty Nork, good job. And then Spyro being a snarky little twerp and saying, yeah, I'm gonna kick his butt. You better believe it. I mean, we already know he is, but, you know.
Thank you for releasing me.
See what I mean? Oh yeah, and also another thing I should mention about, the whole this world is on drugs theory is, remember the first dragon that I released in this world?
But you should watch the fools.
Yeah. He kind of reminds me of the caterpillar in Wonderland that smokes opium. That's honestly, when Toys for Bob redesigned this level and its dragons, that's probably what they had in mind when they designed that guy. I would not be surprised in the least. If anything, it's a pretty decent reference, pretty decent homage, if you will. And there's actually another reason, not just because a bunch of gems and extra dragons in this area, but it also leads to a rocket that destroys that lockbox near the end. And look at that. We can glide all the way back to where we started. There's the tunnel right over there. Let us continue. Get all these guys while they're actually small. There we go. See, I don't even need to turn you into a bright lantern to do that, because I'm just so quick and so good. I might want to do it for this guy, though. Just to be safe. Also... oh, yeah. You might have noticed that, through that tunnel that I went through, there was a platform with a whirlwind to my right that I completely ignored. Pretty much all that does is just lead you back up to that area, which is honestly kind of weird. I mean, I guess it's a shortcut if you want to finish the level faster, but for those who actually want to complete the level 100%, it's pretty frickin' pointless. Whoa, I didn't even see that one coming. My god, you guys have good range. Stop having good range, please. Here we are. Bakari.
You know,
I love those
I think
slippers.
You just might be the dragon to defeat Nasty Nook.
That's me, all right.
Also just noticed for the first time that his wings kind of look like bedazzled curtains or something like that. Kind of cool. Alright, so I almost don't want to leave this level because it's so freaking well done. Even though it's my favorite level in the original, it's not my favorite level redesign in the Reignited trilogy, but it's still. Goddamn, they did a really good job. Sparks, you're looking a little blue. Let's fix that. My gosh, when you defeat the mushrooms, the butterflies take forever to spawn out of them. You have to wait around like a... Stop it! Have to wait around like a freaking idiot for a while. One thing you'll notice about this world as a whole is that there's a lot of whirlwinds. Pretty sure it has more whirlwinds than any other world in the game. And also these guys. Jesus. There's your nightmare fuel for tonight, guys. Sleep well. And as you can see, these guys are big in metal, so... we can charge them, but pretty much all it does is, you know, miff them a little bit. So they cannot be defeated unless they are small, which means we need to get to that cannon up there. But I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to go over here, so we're not missing anything along the way. This guy right here, he is defenseless. Wow! Love the sounds the enemies make when you defeat them too. Very much reminiscent of the sounds that the Magic Crafter enemies make, just, you know, slightly different. Now that we've actually completed a level in Dreamweavers, let's free the dragon that introduces the world.
Welcome to the Dreamweavers, young one. While chasing Nasty's minions in this world, you must expect the unexpected and prepare for what is not there.
See, I think it would have made more sense if when he did, like, the hand thing, like a butterfly or something like that appeared out of his hands, because, you know, that would have made a lot more sense, rather than him saying, prepare for what is not there, and then have something not appear anyway. Kind of defeats the purpose of the whole hand thing. Lofty Castle. Let's get ready for another acid trip. Yeah. If you thought Dark Passage was trippy, you ain't seen nothing yet. This place is just... wowzers. And as you can see, right when the level starts, a freaking whirlwind is here! See, I don't really know what these things were meant to be in the original, but here, it's quite clear that I still don't really know. I think the proper enemy name for those things are pufferbirds, which I mean, I guess they're a mix between pufferfish and birds. Very inventive enemy design in this world, definitely. Very inventive. I mean, the sequels did get fairly creative with their, enemy designs, and even just character designs in general, since, the sequels, like I said before, actually have NPCs other than enemies and dragons. And although they are cool and do have, you know, some uniqueness to them, the series just never got as just balls to the wall, insane and imaginative and just drug-fueled as they did with Dreamweavers. And the redesigns, I just have pretty much no complaints with. I mean, yeah, they could have done some things differently and just a little bit more unbridled, I guess, but I think what really sells me on this world is the color palette that they used. This is easily the most vibrant level in the entire redesign of the first game. Now it's time for one of my favorite dragon redesigns ever.
Fairies are always on your side, Spyro.
And it's because of that doll. It's so cute! I love it. Hopefully they don't get copyright claims from Raggedy Ann, but by God. I don't know why. That doll just adds so much to that dragon's personality, even though he says, fairies are always on your sides. But 7 words. Yes, I actually had to count those on my finger. You didn't see it, but I did. Big whoop. Want to fight about it? Come at me, bro. Experience these hands. Alright. Oh my god, look at that. Another whirlwind. Fancy that crap. I also totally just glossed over the fact that there are several fairies in cages in this world, and if you free 3 of them in the same area, then they activate a whirlwind that'll take you to the next area. Which is what I'm going to do right now. This is actually a really cool flying segment right here. There's enemies right here, and then there's fairies, and then you just go right around and free them all, and then you're back where you started. That's really cool. It's one of my favorite moments in the original game, honestly. But before we ride that whirlwind, let's go back and pick up some straggling gems. And away we go. Hiya! What have you got for me? Usaini? Usaini? Whatever.
Ah, Spyro, thanks. Supercharge will get you to new places here in Lofty Castle, too. See where it takes you.
Seriously, who's your guys' hairdressers? Your mustaches are just insane. And would you look at that? Another key. Now, this is the only supercharge segment in the level. But it is easily one of the harder ones to figure out in the game. I mean, maybe not figure out, but actually doing it is a bit tricky because you really gotta turn really wide and then go up here, and then this is pretty much all it takes you. Just this one spot. But it can take a few tries to really perfect it. However, we actually really do want to be here because now we have an excuse to drop down here. And look at that. Landed right on the lockbox. Beautiful. But oh dear, how will we ever get back up to where the waterfall is? Oh gee, it's a fairy. You know, I just realized these cages say do not feed right on them. How is that not obvious the first 2 times, 3 times even, that I've played this game? Wow, I'm observant. Every time I play this trilogy, this wonderfully done remaster, I always pick up on something new that I missed. Which is why this game is just such a joy to play through. I love it. This guy's guarding the last fairy, but not anymore! Now we can ride the whirlwind back up. Woohoo! And also regain this checkpoint. Not bad, right? Alright. So we explored that area. Now let's go over here. Let's actually advance through the level. I mean, not that we weren't doing that before, but, you know. Now it's time for this dragon. The dragon that everyone focuses on for the wrong reason. Oh my god.
Thank you for releasing me.
And no, it's not because he looks like one of the, shall we say, higher dragons in the game, but, let's just say he's gifted with a little bit more than just magic. Let's put it that way. Keeping it as PG, or, you know, let's face it, PG-13 as possible. Which is what I want this series to be, if I can. Last fairy over here. I actually love these guys right here, floating around on a balloon. And then you pop the balloon to defeat them. It took me way too long to figure that out as a kid, that you actually need to pop the balloon to defeat them. I thought they were just there to be an annoyance enemy that couldn't be defeated. Let's actually go into the castle. The titular castle that is so lofty. And this is a detail that I noticed before that I'm not sure was intentional or not, but stop shooting at me. In the original, there's actually 3 chests over here, and here there's 2 chests and just a gem right behind it. I think why that is that usually when people flame that windmill over there, that the debris actually falls and lands on the chest that's supposed to house this gem. I'm not sure if Toys for Bob somehow missed that while they were replaying the original game to, you know, get all the gem placement correct, but I just get a little bit of a kick out of that. It's tiny things like that. Now, this level has a skill point that's quite a bit out of the way. I actually had to look up how to get this skill point. But apparently there's a secret stump in this level that can only be reached by doing some goofy out-of-the-way gliding over here, and then not that, son of a gun. Like I said, this one takes a bit of practice to get to. There we go. However, this is not the stump. As you can see, there's actually a tree here. So, where's the stump, you ask? Let me see if you can just barely see it around that corner. This is one of the trickier glides to do in the game. Ugh. Then you actually don't flame it, do you? Nope. You charge it. Skill point acquired. Now let's see if I can actually get back. Oh my gosh, I might actually be able to. Oh god, the tree is really in the way. Make it! Passive hover! Thank you! Whew. Now just make it over here, please. Oh my god, why? Alright, we're finally back. Let's get out of here. Last area in the level. No, I almost feel bad. These guys just kind of fly around in a circle, which makes it a bit annoying to get to them because they move so slowly. Let's go through the whirlwind that's actually active. Ta-da! Get this guy quick! Yes! I love how the balloons also have, like, these evil faces on them. They didn't even have faces in the original, they were just, you know, balloons. So once I ride up here, I should be able to get the last of the gems. And here they are. Another great level done. And also I love how, just to add to the trippiness and the just otherworldliness of the world, 2 moons, and also flowers right in my face, holy crap. But yeah, really cool. Also, I just realized that bird call you just heard now, by god, that reminds me of the original Rayman game. I kind of want to play that now. Thanks for the nostalgia trip within a nostalgia trip, Toys for Bob. Well done. Oof, almost landed on that mushroom's head. Sorry, little dude. Yeah, there's another extra life in the bag. Oh god. I remembered in the original, if you, like, went charging for this guy really quickly, you would actually charge and defeat him the very second that he was enlarged. So he would just enlarge, you would charge him, and then his enlarged self would just flop off the edge of the level. And it was oddly satisfying. Almost as satisfying as the 1, 2, 3 punch right there. Now there is an area over there, but I'm gonna go over there later. For a couple reasons that you'll see in due time. There is a bit of method to this mad let's play, walkthrough, guide, whatever you want to call it. I do have my ways. Look at this, speaking of whirlwind overload, just 3 in a row, just ugh. A bit overkill, but, you know, adds to the whimsy of the level, I guess. Okay, now we actually have the shrink rake at our disposal. Let's get these guys over here. There's one. Really? There's one. And there we go. So now we can actually go over here and defeat these guys. Hoo-yah! They give you 10 gems each. Heck yeah. And look at that. For our efforts, another flight level. This one's kinda sorta hidden, I guess. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get to, in that sense. And there's also a very peculiar skill point in this hub world. See how this archway is, I guess, kind of out of place? Well, that's because it leads to this room. Pretty much all you gotta do is stand on here, and bam. Easy skill point. An easy one to get, but also a pretty easy one to miss. There's also more fools in this world. I love how there's like a freaking ripple particle effect with every step they take. I like that. But these fools outside of Dark Passage will, well, do that. But also if you attack them, they start timers for these platforms here. That one goes up and this one goes up, and you just ride them over here. And that's how you get to the fight level. Now this is the final flight level in the game in the traditional sense, in the sense that you would be accustomed to thus far in the game. And you'll see what I mean in the next episode. But for now, Icy Flight. Now this one is kinda sorta similar to Wild Flight, in which two sets of the things that you need to get to are kinda clustered together. However, I don't think this one is nearly as difficult or haphazard. You'll see I'm getting all these lanterns here, or all but one of them, I should say. And there's also these chests you need to get. See, there's the last lantern right there, kind of out of the way from the other ones. I always leave that one for last while I get these chests over here. See? Leads me right to the last lantern, and this leads me right to the last chest, which is right here. And then, if you go down this way through the train tracks, you'll be just in time to catch this guy right here. And just like in Sunny Flight, each of these trains has 2 barrels, so you get double the time. And then there's these guys, which are kind of a pain in the butt. Get this last train here. Oh god! That was close. Pretty sure it came out the other direction? I got it a bit turned around. Yeah, here we go. Last of the trains, and then all of the rest of the copters are in this part of the level here. And both the copters and the lanterns give you 3 seconds, which makes this level all that much easier. See? Bam. Easy. And here we are, back at the cannon. I figured since it was a little bit of a journey to get from Icy Flight back to where I was in the homeworld, I would just, you know, cut that part out. So now let's free this guy. Just over here on a lone island. Zikomo! It's a cool name. I'm gonna name my firstborn Zikomo.
Hello, Spyro. Nicely done. I'll be done when I've toasted that nasty Nork.
How is that star thing floating in between his horns like that? That was cool. Gosh, speaking of illusions, I don't care about the other illusions, I just want to know how he did that. I totally forgot to shrink this guy. God darn it. You have made a fool of me for the last time! Yes, right. Yeah! Ugh, everything is as it should be now. There we go. You ain't gonna kick me! Some gems hidden around this corner here, and also the last main level that's not a flight world or a boss world in Dreamweaver's. Let's just go to Haunted Towers. Wow, really? This is the whole level? Just this one little platform here, and these 3 gems, and this tattered, destroyed suit of armor that has a magical aura emanating from it that I can't even destroy? Well, this is kind of a ripoff. I mean, where am I supposed to go from here? Oh yeah, through this door which I can totally bash down! And oh my gosh, look, chaos all around. And also the suits of armor are coming to life and they look awesome. I love what they did with the suits of armor. I mean, the original had the suits of armor come to life, yes, but they didn't have like this bright green magical aura emanating from them. Although I will say, for a PS1 game, they did have pretty cool, reflective effects for the metal armor. That goes for all the metal enemies in the original. I mean, it doesn't look all that great by today's standards, no. Love how this guy doesn't even attack you, just blocks you from progressing through the level. But in 1998, that looked really, really good. And now, look how far we've come. I mean, you can even actually see, like, the proper lighting and reflections off of his shield. I mean, the original, they just looked... Ow. They just look kind of shiny. Here, it's actually it actually reflects what it's meant to reflect in the level, which is a really nice touch. So how do we defeat these suits of armor? And guess what? The Kissy Fairy is back! Now with this one, you gotta be really quick. I mean, yes, you can go to the fairy as many times as you'd like, but I like to try to get all these guys in one fell swoop. Hiya! And hiya. Excellent. Now just go back and pick up all the gems we missed. And also kill this guy, because I don't want him to live anymore. And my word is law! In this door over here. You can also, yeah, flame the metal doors as well. There's both wooden and metal doors in this level. Wooden doors can be destroyed from the get-go. But the metal ones, you need special super flame. Speaking of special super flame, let's actually get it again, because we'll need it in the next area. Yeah. God, I love how he looks when he's powered up. So cool. Get some of these guys really quick. Don't even care about getting the gems right now. Ow! I just care about defeating them. And look at that, the game knew that I needed father, so they put some right here. How convenient. How very loving. And now let's free this dragon who's gonna tell us what we pretty much already know. Why wasn't there a dragon like this in high caves when this mechanic was first introduced?
Hey, Spyro. All dragons know there's magic in a fairy's kiss. See what it can do to your power of flame.
I think this dragon's design is really clever in particular. He doesn't really look like much at first glance, but if you really look at it, he is holding a candle, and both of his horns are candles as well. I think that's really well done and clever. It's nice little touches like that just add so much. I know I keep on saying that, but it's true. It's so many cases in so many different ways. And over in this tower, there's another magical fire fairy. We're going to need her powers to progress. And And that's kind of weird. Some of the boxes in this level, especially the ones that house a lot of gems, they tend to take a while to actually look like they're destroyed while gems are flowing out of them. Not sure if that was intentional, but if it is, then really shouldn't have been. Looks kind of weird. Now, this level also has a skill point in which you need to glide a bit out of your way in order to get to. See that little castle over there? You actually want to get on that little platform that you can see on the top there. And the best way to do that is to charge and then charge into a glide. You should be able to get there fairly easily. And see this hat? It needs to be destroyed! And bam! That kind of big old light explosion effect was a bit much, but there's another skill point for you. Let's go back up these steps, and they will lead us to our next challenge, which is another supercharge course. Now, I'm not sure if you noticed, but the ramp that we went up to that led to the whirlwind kind of looks like a ramp that you can supercharge off of, does it not? Well, that's because if you supercharge down here, go through these doors, go through this door that's on the far right, and then jump around, you'll find yourself back on the ramp, and boom! New area. Oh my god, I just blew your mind. That just happened. And we get a compliment for our hard work from Copano here.
You've become a master of the supercharge. Great work.
Thanks, Dad. That is easily one of the hardest supercharge jumps to figure out how to do, and also one of the hardest to do. Maybe even harder than any of the ones in Treetops. This is actually the very last secret area I found in the original first game when I was a kid. I had completed every single level 100% except for Haunted Towers, and it was because of that supercharged jump. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but if you, like, stand close to a dragon that is crystallized, you can kind of hear him, like, rumbling around in there, like, trying to get out. It makes kind of a sound effect. And as a kid, I was actually on the other side of this wall, which is actually the top of the supercharge ramp, and I kept on hearing that dragon rumbling through the wall, and I was like, I know there's a dragon there, but how the heck do I get to it? And I finally figured it out. Probably, my god, 1 or 2 years after I'd already owned the game. Now, in this area, you need to be really quick, because there's all of these suits of armor, and they all come to life in turn, and you need to jump your way through here before they come to life and block your path, and then get to this wizard dude right here. But now you see that you're kind of trapped here. That's kind of inconvenient. However, there's another fairy here, as fate would have it, and not only does she grant you more power flame, but you now have unlimited power flame for as long as you stay alive within the level. If that isn't a reward for doing that goofy supercharge jump and for getting past all these suits of armor, then I don't know what is. So satisfying mowing all these guys down now. Love it. Now, for some reason, I always seem to forget to go back through here and get this lockbox here. But I'm not going to today, especially not while recording. Oh my god, seriously, that bird just... Oh, it just reminds me so much of Pink Plant Woods. I want to play Rayman now. What the heck was that? You guys did hear that, right? Huh. It's probably an enemy that's actually, like, down in this area that's reacting to me being above them because... stupid reasons. And see, now we're back in this area, which is the base of where the supercharge ramp was. Now we can go back and get all... It is an enemy over there. Yep, it's that guy up there. He was freaking out at me for not even being close to him. Oh my gosh, how many lockboxes are there in this level? Does that make, what, 3? That is a lot. That's a lot of lock. I'll get to you in a second. Right after I get to this guy. And of course there's a fairy here, just in case I totally bypass the one who gives me infinite power flame. Hi. Bye. Oh god, oh my gosh, if that does not just warm your soul, then you have none. I love it. And now it's time for everyone's favorite Spyro quote.
Hold your horns. Here comes Spyro.
Yeah!
Patience, little one. You'll soon have the opportunity to battle the one who matters most. Nasty Nork.
Also, I love how they didn't even hide the fact that that lamp was meant to look almost exactly like the one from Aladdin. Gosh, is there any company that Disney doesn't own these days? This is another area where you kind of have to be quick in order to avoid all these suits of armor. That is, if you don't have the infinite power flame. These guys just don't know what they're in for. And there should be a 10 and a 10, and bam, level complete. Let's get out of here. And look at that, another fool. I wonder what he does. Oh god. Woohoo! It's a pretty neat mechanic. I know that there's a lot of platformers out there that have, like, timed switches that activates a door or a platform, but this one has the switches actually move as a character. I think that's really neat. Not a whole lot of games did that. Like, do that. Like, back when this game first came out. Get these gems over here, because tall grass is a thing that's kind of annoying. And this dragon's gonna give us a tip that, again, we already know, but he tries.
The fools you see in this world are invincible.
but that does not mean they shouldn't be attacked.
Sounds all right to me.
Spyro's just down to attack anything that isn't of his own kind. Kinda messed up if you think about it. Now we ride all these whirlwinds back to the beginning of the level. However, there is still one area that we have yet to explore. Let's go there now. Now, I said before there were two reasons why I didn't go to this area of the homeworld before. One reason is that it has the boss level, which I naturally want to save for last. The second is that right next to the boss level is the balloonist. So yeah, it only makes sense to leave this part of the level for last. But now, let's go confront Jacques, which again, just like Metalhead, is one of my favorite level redesigns in the first game, and also one of my favorite enemy redesigns. Let's find out why that is. Also, I have 10,000 gems right now. God, that's satisfying. I am just completely mesmerized by how this level looks. Just look at it. Even though these enemies look threatening and terrifying, which is a good thing, to be fair, this whole place is just so serene and just gorgeous. I love everything about it. And it gets even better as the level goes on. See, there's even more fools in this area that activate moving platforms, so no, it's not just those two in the hub world. Let's get this guy. Whoops, let's... Here we go. These guys down here, oh my god, these guys. These guys looked really threatening in the original, but my god. Oh, I love how they even, like, drool ferally from their fangs. Gives them all that much more ferocity. Now there is a dragon over there, and there's a platform that looks like it has already been lifted over here. So how do we activate that? Well, let's ask Let's ask this fool over here for directions. See how he's just not really next to any platforms at all? Yep. We go back over here. This platform that was once raised is now lowered. And now we can just ride it all the way back up. Hoo-yah! And then an easy glide to make. I should point out this is the only boss level in the game that has two dragons, as opposed to just one.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Take care.
You too. Take luck and care. Good luck taking care of the luck that you might have. If you have luck, take it, care for it. If anyone gets that reference, then my god, you're as old as I am. Hey-you. I love how, as well as the sound of an alarm clock going off, he's actually doing like the tongue trill, like the brrr, to kind of mimic the sound of an alarm going off. That is adorable. Of course, the only thing over here is just the whirlwind that will take me back to where I already was without actually doing what I wanted to do here. Just 15 gems. Stuff like this, just random glides to areas that only have gems, is like a completionist's pet peeve. I understand why they put it there, just to, you know, make players go the extra mile to get that sweet 100%, but... Yeesh. I also love this part right here. So you can tell, these guys on pedestals that are all different heights in this whirlwind right here, you probably know where this is going. And boop, and boop, and boop, and boop. Ugh. Getting all that in one go is just so satisfying. Just these little things like that, and Dreamweavers especially, that are just, so satisfying. They're oddly satisfying. It's like those oddly satisfying compilations that you see on YouTube. Alright. Well, at least I had a checkpoint. Okay, let's try that again. That's That's one reason why I'm grateful that there is 2 dragons in this level. Now that that's done, let's actually ride up that platform again. Because there is another area of the level that is accessible from it. That over there. Now see, I probably could make the glide from down there to that platform over there, but I remember in the original game, I always messed it up. I always, like, just barely didn't make it. I haven't even tried gliding from there to over here yet. Probably should have done that for the sake of the Let's Play. But either way, we're over here. We've got 2 fools running around in a circle. And they activate these over here. Now these could lead over there, but we want to go over here first because, oh my gosh, there's another key! And now that that's done, we could actually go over there. Which, in a similar fashion to Ice Cavern, kind of forces us to go backwards through the level a little bit. Getting these guys always makes me nervous, because you charge them and you pretty much just fall right off, which is really hard for enemies that are like right close to the edge. And there's the lockbox right over here, which has a lot of gems in it. And now, as you can probably tell, this whole part of the level right here leads us back to where we were. Oh, jeez. Oh, whoa, that was close. That was really... Stop it. Stop it. Your shenanigans need to cease right now, sir. Or ma'am, since those enemies were wearing what looks like nightgowns, so I'm guessing they're female. I don't want to assume gender. I mean, if they're a man and they're wearing dresses, then, hell, I'm not gonna judge you. Do whatever makes you happy. I mean, I'm, you know, killing them, which kind of warps my message, but you know how it is. This platform also is, you can't actually jump on it from the ground. You can either step on that stumpy thing first and then jump on the platform, or you can incapacitate that fool and then step on the platform and then ride it up. Which is pretty good for speedrunners. Alright, now before we go down there, which is, as you can probably tell, where the boss is, let's get some health back. And also, I should mention that this also has another skill point in which you need to defeat the boss without getting any damage done to you. Which, again, only counts for the boss battle itself, so we should be good. My god, look at him. Look at how awesome he looks. He looks like... you know that crappy sequel to The Mask with Jamie Kennedy? He kind of looks like that, except he's actually meant to be scary. You know what I mean? What advice does this guy have for us?
Any advice before this battle?
Advice?
What a
A wise
nitwit.
dragon once told me aim high in life, but watch out for flying boxes.
Huh?
And thus a meme was born. Now, as I've said before, this guy, even though his battle is pretty short, he is one of the hardest, if not the hardest boss in the first game, because his movements are so quick, and you need to be quick to dodge them, and he's just, he's a pain in the butt. Especially if you want to go for the skill point. And it's always at this last platform that I choke. So if I do that today, just go over here and then flame him really quickly before he has a chance to attack you. Ooh, yes! I mean, he did attack me, but I managed to dodge it somehow. Feels good. Alright. Oh. Gem counter go up faster so I can tell how many I'm missing. 2. I'm missing 2. Son of a... Where are you, gems? Where are you, Gemmaroonies? I will find you, and I will subdue you and make you my wife. Hopefully they're not too far. Show me where they are. Or where it is. It's probably just one green one somewhere. Is it from this guy? And I just didn't get the gem. Well, that was easy. Now that that embarrassing moment is finally done, it's time to go to the last world in the game. Are we ready for it?
Well done, Spyro. I hope you know what lies in store for you. Nasty's world is not the friendliest place you'll ever find.
What? I mean, it's called Nasty's World. I was expecting just a cavalcade of fun and whimsy and lollipops. This game lied to me.
Are you ready to go?
You bet your butt we are. Let's finally end this.